Hi guys, it's album review time. We've got 3 albums to talk about. You might notice some of my videos, well, there's been a long while between you see some of the videos. It used to be almost every night. Slowed down quite a bit, I've got to admit, but I really want to speak to you guys and put some more videos out there. It's just been a bit difficult lately, for sure. So I thought one of the things I really need to get down to is listen to some more albums, because obviously, you know, I need to listen to albums from start to finish. If I'm going to do that, I will review them. So I thought, right, let's do 3 albums. The first one was out on October the 21st on Napalm Records. It's the 5th album from this German band, The New Roses. The album's called Sweet Poison. This band, man, they're such a great band. Love every one of their albums, actually. They're so consistently excellent. They're got so much groove to them. They're a rock and roll band with a southern vibe. They're fun. You would put them, if you want to say for fans of, you would say they've got elements of probably AC/DC, a bit of classic Bon Jovi, hints of both, but by no means a carbon copy of either. They're such a great band. And I do say they're a rock and roll band. They are really surprisingly German. I mean, I don't mean anything, you know, offensive about that. They just don't sound German. They sound American. They really do. They're really catchy. Their songs are so catchy. It's almost party music at times. Every song has a great hook, melody. It's so much fun to listen to. So the guys in this band, really talented guys. Timmy Ruff on the vocals and guitar. He's got such a sort of gruffness to his voice. I love his voice, man. And he reaches some heights as well. He's got such a strong voice. He's a great vocalist. You've got Dizzy Daniels on the guitar. Definitely German name, that one. Brilliant groove to this band, like I said already. So you've got 2 guitarists, groove-laden stuff. It's brilliant. Got Hardy on the bass and Urban Burrs on the drums. Just an excellent rhythm section. These guys really know how to rock and roll and have a great groove. And, you know, when it comes down to doing stuff that has not is exactly, but similarities to bands like AC/DC, you need to have that tight. You really need to be in that groove. And these guys have got it. They really have. If you like the New Roses, if you like all their other albums, their other 4 albums, you're just going to love this as well. It's just a guaranteed fun time with loads of hooks and melodies. So much fun to listen to, but it really rocks out at the same time. Let's go through some favourite tracks. I'm not going to dwell on this too much because I've got 3 albums to talk about. The single, My Kinda Crazy, kicks the album off. One of the catchiest songs you'll hear this year, without a doubt. It's what this band is about. It's rocking and it's fun. That's one brilliant track. Playing with Fire is the 2nd track in. Great rock and roll track again. Slight southern tinge that they sometimes have. It's almost like their version of 12 Bar Boogie. It's such a fun track. The perfect jukebox song in a pub, I would say. All I Ever Needed is another great one. It's the 3rd track in. An excellent southern ballad. It's just the perfect at this sort of stage of the album. 3 tracks in. The vocals are absolutely amazing on this album. Okay, you know, a lot of songs on this, they might have done it before, or bands have done this sort of thing before, but this band do everything perfectly. They really do. This is the kind of track, All I Ever Needed, that Bon Jovi wish they could write, but they can't anymore, I'm afraid. The Usual Suspects, that's another single. That's track 4. Man, I just forget that these guys ain't American. It's just ridiculous. They really do sound American. Fun, rock and roll, but with energy in abundance. It really is. Always so catchy. Dead of Night, I want to talk about that track. I love this one. I mentioned groove earlier on quite a bit. This is a great example of that. They sort of inject that southern feel here again, and I love that when they do that. The grit in the vocals is just perfect in this song. True Love is the next song I want to talk about. This is an acoustic ballad. Vocalist really is in the spotlight on this one. Some great harmonies from the backing vocals as well. I can imagine this being a great live track. You know what I mean? When they slow things down a bit, break the set up. Just amazing stuff. First Time for Everything is the next track. This was a single. Along with the opening track, it's probably one of the catchiest tracks on the album. Probably is the most catchiest. You can't help but smile when they play in this song. It's just amazing. Next track I want to talk about is The Lion in You. Rock and roll groove at its best again, great chugging at times, a brilliant soaring chorus. And then we end the track with The Veins in This Town. What a closing track this is. What a closing track this is. Maybe the highlight of the album for me, although there's many highlights. The band are just so cohesive here. They sound huge. They really do. You couldn't hear this track and not like it. It's one of those. It's not a ballad, but it's not a fast rocker. It's sort of in between. There's loads of feeling and emotion. I absolutely love it. The perfect closer to a fucking great album. The New Roses, Sweet Poison. Available everywhere now, guys. Get it. You're going to love this. And then we move on to another album I want to talk about that I listened to recently. It's still Arctus and Master of War. This is a Greek band. It's their second album. They had Fire and Blood out in 2020. This has come out on Valve Studio Records on October the 7th. The band are epic metal. You could put them in the power metal sort of vein, but they're sort of darker. They haven't got those sort of happy feels within their lyrics. So they're a bit of a darker sort of power metal, if you like. Or you could just call it epic metal. It's a bit darker, like I said. It's aggressive. Almost reminds me of maybe early Queensryche or Maiden. It's that sort of thing we're talking about. In the band, you've got Tassos Lazaris on the vocals. Greek, remember. Nashji on the guitars. Strutter on the bass and keys. And Zings on the drums. I think that's how you say it. So not too many hard names to say, but a great band, really right in that groove of power metal, like I said, in the vein of, you know, I know Queensryche and Maiden, you can't call them power metal, but it's got slight power metal feels with Queensryche and Maiden influence, I would say. I mean, they do sing, probably where I get those power metal vibes from as well. Is very, all the lyrics are war, mythology, fantasy, those sort of lyrics. But it's such a great band, catchy stuff going on. But like I said, not too over the top, cheesy or happy catchy. We're talking like aggressive catchy here. Let me run you through some of the great tracks on this album. Master of War is a single. I reacted to this one actually. It's a medium to fast-paced song. And from the opening scream and thunderous drums, you know what you're going to get through this album. Like I said, you could call it power metal, but it's dark. So it's not that, you know, happy sort of sing-along stuff. Just how I like my metal. I like it a bit darker. A great opening track. And that closing scream is just mental. Then we go on to Midnight Priest. They hit you hard again with a metal groove. The chugging guitars are sort of traded off with intricate melodies in between. Again, there's double kick drum just thundering along in this one, and a great chorus. Flames of Hades is next. This is an epic track. Not in length, but just sounds so epic. It could be like this sort of choir backing vocals, which are really cool. And that leads us into a great medium paced track. Feels like the band are really ready for battle in this one. It's like a war themed lyrics. It's a great song. Cry for Redemption is next. After a sort of folky melody, the song hits a dark, galloping sort of groove. Some battle chants, but it's never, like I said, battle chants, but never does it feel cheesy or over the top. Like sort of other bands do, you would say, in this genre. I think it's because the guitars are nice and up and aggressive in the mix as well. It gives me that darker feel. But man, it's such a cool listen. Then I want to talk about Glorious Days. Things slow down slightly in this one, but it ain't a ballad. Far from it actually, but they do slow down a little bit. Some great high-end vocals in parts of this song. Great metal track. Hear My Battle Cry is next. Another epic sounding track. Heavy riffy guitars, pounding bass and thunderous drums. Just can't help your head going on this one. It's stirring stuff, it really is. The band for me at their best in this one, in this medium paced groove. Next up we have Black Mountains.
Fighting for freedom is what I am. Killing for truth is what I need. The secrets await.
a bit of a highlight for me, this one. Nice to have acoustic guitars here. After 1.5 minutes, the band hit their stride with that galloping groove that they sometimes have when the guitar kicks in. I like the aggressive vocals here in this song. I think that's where this band excel, you know. They have that great dark feel to their, if you want to call it, power metal. Man, they're the tracks I want to speak about. It's a great listen, guys. You got to get this one. Steel Arctus, Master of War. You're going to love it. And then I want to talk about the band Xentrix and their album 7 Words. This is an English thrash band formed in 1984. 4 albums. That's it. They split up in 1997, reformed in 2013. They had an album called Bury the Pain in 2013. But this is their newest album. And man, I fucking love this album. This is fucking great thrash. The production is amazing. It sounds amazing. If you want to know what this band sounds like, you know, it's not thrash where it's so extreme. It's along the lines of Testament, Death Angel, you know, old classic Metallica, Megadeth. This is one great album that matches. I mean, when people probably talk about the thrash album of the year, a lot of people are going to have Megadeth at the top of their albums. Man, this one for me beats it. I really think this beats it. It's brilliant. It's absolutely perfect thrash. And it's English as well. That's really cool. I mean, fuck me, this band are good. I haven't really got into Xentrix a lot, but man, this album is absolutely classic. And you got in this album, and they're all great musicians. You've got Jay Walsh on rhythm guitar and vocals. He's the newest member. You've got Christian Havard on the lead guitar, Chris Shires on the bass, and Dennis Gasser on the drums. I mean, man, this is thrash. So some of it's quite fast, some of it's like medium paced. They mix it up quite a bit, but man, if you want to be in a thrash band, you've got to be fucking good. I mean, this is technical thrash at its best. They are just so tight. I don't know if I've heard a tighter album than this year. This is really spot on, but the production, man, just gives you that tightness even more. It really hits you there. It's a brilliant production from this excellent album. So I want to talk about some of the songs. Got Behind the Walls of Treachery, 6 minute and 5 second opener. It's fast, just how you want the opening track to be. Great instrumental parts that just whets your appetite at the beginning. Then at 1 minute 30, the thrash hits you. It's classic stuff. It really is complex, technical, and heavy as fucking hell. Riffs just hit you from everywhere. Bass and drums pound, and perfect thrash vocals. This isn't shouting, you can hear every word. It's exactly how I want it, but it's still aggressive. What a fucking start. Then we move on to the track 7 Words. This was a single. I reacted to this one. It's fast again. It's full throttle, neck breaking, aggressive, but seriously catchy at the same time. Man, I mean, this is how I want my thrash. It really is. It's impossible not to have your head going. The change up before the solo, there's sort of breakdowns just before the solo. It changes up quite a bit. Fuck, it's so heavy. I love that track. Spitcoin is the next track I want to talk about, and there's no let up. The pace does slow slightly, but the heaviness is not forsaken. Some very cool twin melodies coming in and out from the guitars. Get that classic metal feel in this, but chuggy guitars accompany it for some more sort of relentless thrash, if you like. Next up is The Altar of Nothing. Only reprieve is probably the 2 seconds before the next track starts between Spitcoin and this one. It's probably the only reprieve you get at the beginning. It sounds like classic Bay Area 80s thrash, but with a fucking amazing production. I'll keep going on about it, but it sounds amazing, this album. It's fucking heavy. That production just sort of elevates the heaviness even more. The riffs about the 3 minute mark just blow me away. Oh man, this is, I can imagine this in the live situation, this track. What a great song. Then we get onto the brilliantly titled Everybody Loves You When You're Dead. A brilliant track, medium paced, one of the standouts on the album. The pace is perfect. you know me guys, I love a medium pace track. Just make the track somehow even heavier than what we've heard so far. The bass rumbling through this song is so good, an absolutely monstrous track. Reckless with a Smile is next. Man, this song is so good as well. Technical, thrash riffs hit you from every direction. The bass again, man, where this production's so good, the bass rumbling is just, it blows me away. It sounds absolutely amazing. Along with those mega heavy fucking riffs coming in and out, it's just amazing. Doesn't get much better than that. And then I want to talk about Anything But the Truth. This is the last track on the album. A beautiful bit of cinematic music at the start of this, on the closing track, and you're in for a treat, you really do. It's sort of got a few paces to this song, which is really great. At the 1 minute mark, the thrash hits you so fucking hard again. Everything you've heard on this great album is on this fucking track. Crushing riffs, intricate guitar melodies, rumbling bass, pounding drums, and those perfect thrash vocals. He's got it in the groove perfectly for me, how I want thrash vocals to be. Man, this is a fucking amazing album. Could be the top thrash album for the year for me. It's just amazing from start to end. Guys, I highly recommend this. This is Xentrix. This is 7 Words. That's my album roundup for the 3 albums I've listened to recently. Sorry I've been away for a while, but man, it's been an amazing year for music and I've got to catch up somehow. So let me know, guys, what you think of these. If you've heard any of these, if you've got any of these, because they're all out now. Let me know if you're going to get them. I'm going to play snippets throughout this. You would have heard snippets from some of these tracks. So let me know, guys. I'll see you soon.